Shalom. We come here with a quick lesson, but before we get started, let's give our honors and praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakadash.
and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for giving us this 100% truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered across the four corners of the earth.
Again, Shalom. Yeah, we come. You want to go?
I'm Brother Micah Allah.
And I'm Brother Kapasha. And we're coming to you once again with a brief lesson. It's kind of late in the afternoon, but nonetheless, Lord willing, it'll be edifying. And then, just very informative and encouraging to, our brothers and our sincere sisters out here. You see? Because we're going to be tested. We're going through this last bit of troubles, which is called Jacob's trouble, and which is going to be increased upon us. So we know that, we understand what the Bible says about the short time, Esau, Edom, the devil, you see, the so-called white man, who is the physical counterpart of the devil, is going to come upon Israel. He's already have started. We're seeing the deportation of the northern tribe and some of the southern tribe as now. And we know that things are going to increase. Of course, yeah, we see that Trump, DJ Trump he's saying that, now he's saying in so many words that, we need the immigrants, so to speak. You see? Now he wants to bring them back in because they got a plan in place. We already understand it. So that's going to also, increase in Jacob's trouble as well. You see, it's ultimate, everything, all roads and all these plans that they have is leading to the MOTB, as we already know. Because, the head man of GMS right on the, came out with the, warning us about the MOT very, very early. You see, been warning us about, been talking about the CHIP, the MOTB, 20 years or more, 15, 20 years or more. You see, and you heard it first from GMS, starting with the head apostles and bishops, right on down to the local camps. Now you're hearing it from, the affiliates, you see? All right, so give me that. So we're going to be tried. And that's what this lesson is really based on, us being tested in Jacob's trouble. You see? All right, now give me that first precept, my brother, in Sirach, Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiasticus 2:5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
And the elect men are the acceptable men. They're the men that the Lord, Yahweh Shai, have already chosen from before the foundation of the world. We already know this. See, it's only for this truth, and the ones that's going to be saved are of the elect men. And you're going to have the 1/3 too. You see? But read that again, my brother.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
You see, this is a scenario about gold, but the gold that this scripture is talking about, this precept is talking about, is the elect. We are the gold. Lord willing, we are that number. The hopefully elect, the men that is doing, that is doing this, that's keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of his ability. You see, and likewise, the sincere sisters as well, keeping in order. These are the people this is the goal. So therefore, we're going to be tested, Israel. So we must, put our minds in, being tested. And that's not going to be easy. But, the elect men and the 1/3, that we're going to pass those tests. But there's going to be, there's also going to be some who are claiming and calling themselves, and among the hopeful elect, who are not going to pass these tests. So, they just trying to fake it. You see? So they're not sincere. You see? But Lord willing, the men that are, truly sincere, Lord willing, we are those men, then the Lord keep his spirit upon us, that we go through all of these trials and tests that he is going to set up for us, keep the spirit on us, we'll be all right. You see? All right, now, brother, read that once more, then we'll move on.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
In the furnace of adversity, trouble, adversity, trials, testing, troubles, hardships, loss. You see, all of these things is, losing loved ones, losing your job, losing family members. All of these are adversities that, Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai is going to bring his elect men through. You see? You got something? You might as well, since you got it. Yeah, read it.
6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
That's right. We put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai. You want to say something on that?
We put our trust in the Lord and we fear in him.
That's right, and that's why we base everything. We base our our worship on fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai. You see?
And the verse below that one.
Mm-hmm. Read that again first.
6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
Believe in who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai. That's who we believe in. We don't believe in Jesus Christ. We're not going to put our trust in Jesus Christ. Though Christian, so-called Christian pastors and those Christians that's going to these haunted houses that they call churches, they're not going to trust in Jesus Christ because he's not going to do anything for them. He's not doing anything for them now. You see, a lot of people have turned away from Christianity and going to these churches because they are so corrupt and they are being called out. They are being manifest before the public in humiliation and disgust. You see, and there are a lot of people don't want to have anything to do with these so-called Christians. You see, they know they are liars. A lot of women and men have turned to witchcraft and warlocry. You see, so you're not going to put your trust in this Jesus Christ guy. You see, this so-called, that so-called white man, that pale face. Read that again, my brother.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
And order your way aright. That means to do what thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You see, that's what it means. All right. Now, my brother, let's go to
Zechariah.
Let's go to Zechariah 13:8. Because 2/3 of our people are not going to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai. They want to continue to the few that are left in these Christian churches, the harlot houses that they call Christian churches, they're going to continue to trust in their slave master, their enemy. They love their oppressors. You see? All right, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Read. 13:8. So 8.
Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
In all the land, it says, right? And it shall come to pass that in all the land. That means right here in America. Because 2/3 are right here in America. All the tribes, all 12 tribes are right here in America, being oppressed together. The southern and the northern tribe. You see? Are right here in America. I'm not saying that every Israelite is in America. I'm just saying all 12 tribes. That's the difference. You see? Right here in America. And 2/3 are right here in America that will be cut off. You see? They're gonna get unalived. They're gonna get deleted, so to speak. Right? Mm-hmm. And read on, my brother.
And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
And the Lord is going to bring the 1/3 through the fire. What is that fire? It's Jacob's trouble, right, my brother? You see what it says in what was that? Isaiah 30:7. Read that, my brother. Bring that out.
Isaiah 30:7. For the Egyptians shall look at them.
Is that about Jacob's trouble?
No, that's for the Egyptians shall look at them.
Oh, no, that's not it. Is it Jeremiah? I think it's Jeremiah. What is it? Jeremiah 30:7? Okay.
Jeremiah.
I know.
Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
All right, start up a little bit because it's going to be somewhere where men is going to be frightened, men is going to be, faces are going to turn into paleness and things of that nature. Go a little bit further up from that.
Jeremiah 30:6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail?
That's the third part is going through that fire. The third part, the elect. We're going to have to go through that. We're going to see these things happening. You see, the Lord is going to, is really blessing the elect men to go through Jacob's trouble. It's a blessing that, we're going to have that as a witness. We're never going to forget what we've seen and what we've experienced in Jacob's trouble, my brother. We're going to have stories to tell our children and our grandchildren, our children, grandchildren, children, and so on down throughout, generations after generation. It's going to be a never-ending story.
When
you
shoot
see,
us up in those chariots.
Lord willing that we, we are that elect and we get through it. You see. So read that again, my brother. This is that third part of that fire that we are going to be refined. We're going to be refined during that time when you see people starving, famine. See people, starving of famine, lack of food, things of that nature. Read that again, my brother.
Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail.
See, and travail. See, he's going to be hungry. He's going to be afraid. He's going to be scared. He's going to be confused. He's not going to have any answers. He's going to be in total confusion. He's going to be ashamed that day. 2/3 of our people are. And that's during Jacob's trouble. And we're going to be seeing all these things take place. You see, it's going to be a time like no other, even to the point where even the Archangel Michael is going to stand up and going to have to come into our defense for our protection. You see? All right? Read on, my brother.
And all faces are turned into paleness.
Read.
At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
See, that's the refining fire that we're going to have to go through. It's Jacob's trouble. But once we go through that, that's the last troubles that we will ever have, Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians.
And the Most High already has his numbers picked.
That's right. He chose us from before the foundation of the world,
right,
who the elect are. You see? And it says, read that 9 again in Zechariah 13 and 9. Read that over again, my brother.
Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried.
See, that's how gold is brought to its excellence through very, very hot fire. You burn off all of the dross. And by us seeing all of these things and experiencing, life as it would be in that day, totally dependent and trusting and putting all our faith in Yahweh B'Shem our Shai to save us, to provide for us to get through all of these catastrophes and all of these famines and animals and wild beasts and things of that nature during that time. You see, a lot of things are going to be happening in Israel and your trust going to have to be totally, dependent on Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai to save you. You see, all right. So these are the times. These are trying times for us that we're getting ready to enter. So we must, put off the weak nature, and put on, and put it, and make sure you got these holy garments on, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth, which will stabilize you, Israel, in the time coming. You see, as it says in Isaiah 33:6. Let's bring that out real quick, and then we'll come back to that. You got it?
Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
And what's the salvation? The fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You see?
The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
And it's his treasure. You see? Read it from the top again, my brother.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Now that's going to stabilize us. That's going to keep us cool, calm, and collected. You see? Not that we're not going to have any concern at all. Yeah, we're going to have concern when you're seeing all of these things take place. But Lord willing, he'll put a spirit on his elect men and his 1/3 to endure these things. You see? The Lord, because we're going to be our mind state is, our mind has to be controlled by the spirit during that time, because you're not used to seeing people, get unalive in a gruesome way at that time, in the time that's coming. I've never experienced, actually Vietnam War or the world wars where men got, blown away, things of that nature. I don't know how I would react if I saw it in this time, you see? But these times are, and worse times are coming, you see? All right, now go back to Zechariah 13:9 again, my brother.
Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
They're not going to call on, Jesus Christ, not the elect man. The elect man know the name. You see? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that's the name we're going to be calling on, praying to. You see? Rick, go ahead.
And the ones he's going to hear is the ones that was put in the work before that grace period ended.
But that's right. You got to be about doing this work and doing the Lord's business. You see? And that's, teaching. That's, making these epistles, these lessons during the week, going out on the highways and the hedges, being obedient to your parents, right? All right. Men loving your wife, wife being obedient, to your husband, serving your husband, things of that nature. Young ladies, don't be gadding abroad and things of that nature. Daughters, men don't allow your daughters to be gadding abroad and things of that nature. See, these are the important things that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, wants us to do as well. You see, men, I'm gonna tell you something. Young men, if you got wives, you got to know how to deal with them according to knowledge. According to knowledge, you see. Now you got to understand something too. These women aren't in their right mind. You see, nor are the men. You see, but we are work in progress. We're not perfect. You see, and they're not perfect. But nonetheless, you deal with them according to what the scripture has told you to deal with them. You see? So, that's just something that's a little tidbit in, we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, that's first and foremost, to the best of our ability. And fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Read that again, my brother.
And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
That's right, and the Lord is going to recognize his elect men and his 1/3. You see, you're not going to be perfect, but you got the spirit of reconciliation. You see, you got repentance. You see, you can ask for forgiveness. You see, all right. So let me see. I got a lot more, but I don't know if I'm gonna do all of them. Let's see. Let's go with maybe. Let's go with one. Let's go with one more at least. Give me Job 23:10. Let's go there. Let me get
Job 23:10.
right.
Wait.
No, go bring it on now.
Job 23:10. But he knoweth the way that I take when he hath tried me. I shall come forth as gold.
That's right. See, that's right. By the Lord, taking us through these trials, these are testing times for us. I'm gonna look for it again. Read it again, my brother. These are testing times for us. What did I say? 28:10.
23:10.
23:10.
But he knoweth the way that I take when he hath tried me. I shall come forth as gold.
Yeah, the Lord knows which way we're gonna go. He knows the way that when we are obedient to Him. It says it right here. But He knoweth the way that I take. You see? And it says here, when He hath tried me, tested me. You see? He already knew anyway. Just as He knew about Job. But it was a challenge. You see? The spiritual demon, Satan and Yahushua. You see? He already know what you're gonna do, the way you're gonna take.
Read that again.
Read it again, my brother.
But he knoweth the way that I take when he hath tried me. I shall come forth as gold.
And then Job come forth as gold and was rewarded a double what he had. And what do you think what's going to happen in this time? You see, when we go through Jacob's trouble, as what Job had went through, we are somewhat of a protege of Job, really. Think about it, because the elect men, we going through stuff, and when Jacob's trouble, we're gonna have to go through it. We're gonna have to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua too, just like Job, just like Noah, just like all the patriarchs had to depend on the true power to bring them through and to bring deliverance to them. So we have to continue to put our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and not trust in the what man can do to you, but fear what Yahweh Shem Yahushua can do to you and your spirit. You see? So I hope you were edified. You got anything you want to add, my brother?
Trust in the Lord, fear Him, get it in before the grace period ends.
That's right. So with that, we hope you were edified to some degree, Lord willing you were. We're going to end it right there. Shalom, shalom. Until the next one. Shalom.